On page 23 of this little book, it talks about count your blessings, and it tells the story of how I came across a verse in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 16:2. On the first day of each week, let each of you give according to how God has prospered you. It made me think about, well, how has God prospered my life? How has God provided for me and for my wife at that time? You know, we had a very small salary, and we didn't have a lot of extra money, but we decided that on Sunday nights we were going to sit down and write down how did God provide for us in the previous 7 days. The first Sunday we did that, we wrote down that we had received our salary. It was very small, but we recorded it and we were thankful for it. But then we began to think about the last 7 days, and we remembered that one of the nights we took some friends out to dinner and we were going to pick up the tab. It was about a $40 bill for that dinner, but before we could pay for it, they got it ahead of us and they went ahead and paid the bill. And we realized that that was a financial blessing, and we wrote that down. Then we remembered that during the week I had gone to buy a used bicycle. I talked to the person ahead of time and found out that they would sell the bike for $50. So I went there and I had the $50 in my hand, and when I went to give it to them, they said, you know what, you can have the bicycle, you can keep the money, we're just glad to give it to you. And we realized, you know, that was a blessing from God, and we wrote down $50 savings. We then remembered that I had gotten some birthday money in the mail, and I'd gotten some money from a side job that I had done. And when we added up the blessings fund, it was $150 of tangible financial blessings that we recorded that week. So we decided to take 10% of our normal salary and give that to our local church. We then took 10% of the $150, $15, and we said, hey, let's take that and send it to a missionary. Every week the next year we did this every Sunday night. And it was amazing what God did. One time we went to buy a car and it was $3,000, and when we got there with the money, we gave the person the money and they said, no, I changed my mind, I'm only going to charge you $2,000. So there was a $1,000 blessing. So at the end of the year we added up everything, and we had made $15,000 in income. We had given $1,500 to our local church. But when we added up the blessings fund, it was $25,000. And during that year, we had given away $2,500 more to the Lord's work and to ministries we believed in and to people in need. So on a $15,000 income, we had given away $4,000. But you know what? We did it with joy. We did it with excitement. We did it with grateful hearts for all of the ways God provided for us. This week, I would invite you to look over the list of ways that God can uniquely bless you and provide for you, and maybe share some stories of some extra income that came in, or some unexpected cash, or some sale you received when you went to the store, or a discount you got on something, or someone's hospitality that could have cost you a lot of money if it weren't for their kindness. And as you share those stories with one another, realize that those blessings came from God. And if you're wise, you'll learn not only to thank God for them, but you'll learn to give offerings to the Lord's work because of them. I trust that this story will be a blessing to you this week.